Final Fantasy XVI continues to intrigue and impress with every piece of new information that we come across. Yoshi and his team did lots of interviews, revealed lots of info, had some minor controversy, setting Twitter on fire. Final Fantasy XVI already has it all, guys. Ryota Suzuki is the battle director for Final Fantasy XVI. He has worked on tons of great action games, from Darkstalkers, Devil May Cry 4 and 5, Dragon's Dogma, and even Monster Hunter World. He has reportedly said in an interview that Final Fantasy XVI is the greatest action game that he has ever made, which is a huge statement when you look at what other games he has under his belt, which is super exciting. There are many elements to look forward to aside from the combat in FF16. I mean, it is an RPG still, so we have the world traversing, story, lore, and progression to build off of, but the confidence that the dev team is giving is incredible to see. Speaking of combat, after seeing the Ifrit and Garuda battle in our 45-minute gameplay video, a lot of fans were leaving comments about how the fight looks way too slow and how Ifrit seems stiff. We have official confirmation from Yoshi that this is done on purpose for this fight. Shoutouts to Turquoise Hammer for the translation. This is Clive's first time transforming and using Ifrit, so he's still learning his abilities and getting his bearings down, which also explains why his moveset seems so limited. However, further in the story for the other icon fights, which you can also see in the previous trailers, we can expect the pacing and action to be picked up drastically as Clive is more accustomed to his new abilities and is fighting enemies 5 times his size, where he needs to be agile, quick, and zipping around the battlefield. I just wanted to make sure you guys heard this because I saw a lot of people were getting uneasy feelings for this and how the fights looked. So rest assured knowing that this special demo will also be very different when we all finally get to play the game and get to this part of it. Speaking of playing the game, there is a confirmed demo for Final Fantasy XVI. However, it's not going to be available for us until about 2 weeks before Final Fantasy XVI releases. The demo should be out around the week of June 8th, 2022, maybe during E3 actually, and the full game will release June 22nd, just a few weeks after that. Yoshi stated he wants the demo to be a transferable save demo where you can continue your progress once the game comes out, but it's too early in development for the demo to confirm if that's even going to happen. However, they will keep us up to date and let us know as soon as possible, and so will I. This is really exciting news, and I think it would be great for those who want to get into Final Fantasy XVI badly, but don't want to commit to buying it just yet. With this style of demo that they're aiming for, the transferable save styles have a high conversion rate of convincing new players to buy and continue where they left off. It's a really good business strategy. And also, since it would take place in the beginning of the game, you will not be overwhelmed with abilities when playing this demo, unlike what happened sadly with Forspoken. Yoshi also had another great statement. He said that only 30% of people who watch and love the videos are currently subscribed. Guys, what are we doing? Let's raise that number even higher as we climb towards 50%. Hit that like button to spread the hype for Final Fantasy XVI. Getting this video to 1,000 likes will make sure that Yoshi slides us all a demo. Maybe. I'll talk to him. We'll see. And now for the controversy. Gematsu mentioned to Yoshi that the world of Final Fantasy XVI has been pretty dark in tone. Will there be any lighter elements to the game, either story-wise or gameplay-wise, such as minigames? Can we expect to see fishing or something like Blitzball? To which Yoshi responded, the story revolves around some very dark themes. Countries are at war and we can't really have blitzball matches going on when people are like killing each other. And then you have this hero who is like driven by revenge go out and say, I'm gonna go fishing. It kind of breaks character with the way that they designed Clive and his motivations. In that sense, there are no type of light things that will detract from the story that they're trying to tell. However, Cid does have an organization where the Hideaway Hub is stationed, and from there we can come across a lot of side missions, such as quests where you can learn more about the people in the Hideaway or the world itself. Many side things including upgrading Clive, improving the inventory slots, and other activities will also be available, including the hunt board, which reminds me of the hunting logs from Final Fantasy XIV. So with the fact that it doesn't have minigames, there still will be a lot of stuff to indulge yourself with when playing this game outside of the main story. Yoshi statements here seem to rub people the wrong way, but to me, I fully understand exactly what he means. And I also can't lie, I would have liked to see a new iconic minigame being born from Final Fantasy XVI. I am a huge Triple Triad fan. That doesn't seem like it's going to happen in FF16, but we have other things to occupy our time with, of course. In Final Fantasy games of the past, it can be tonally jarring when crazy stuff is happening, and then the characters can sort of ignore said crazy thing or moment to do something else that's totally out of character, or not what any sane or normal person would do. Back in the day for the older graphical games, you can kind of get away with that with how they looked. However, there's a lot of people coming to Final Fantasy X's defense saying that due to the attacks of Sin and the issues in the world, the people play Blitzball to take their mind off of things. This is actually explained in the story, but I don't think Yoshi P was talking about these story-inserted Blitzball moments. He was more referring to a scenario in which something crazy happens in the game, but instead of going to take care of whatever that is for the story, you stop and ask the boss that you're about to fight to play Triple Triad. Or you put together a quick team for Blitzball. Honestly, that would be kind of hilarious. With Final Fantasy 16, the entire world is at a nuclear war, and instead of dealing with one sin, they have like 10 sins running around. Not to mention, Clive's whole family was murdered. He was enslaved, stripped of his life essentially. Everyone is on edge, and it's pretty dark. It's not to say there won't be any humorous moments between Clive, his companions, and people in the world. Just know minigames lighthearted in nature will exist in 16. Clive ain't playing no games, he's out for blood. And like I said, it is a shame. I would like to see a new minigame. I'm a fan of those things, but I could also understand and get why they wouldn't feel the need to do one for this one. The tone and setting seem to be really important to Yoshi P and his team, because in another excerpt about the key art in particular, this is what he had to say. Shoutouts to Turquoise Hammer again for this, by the way, but they had to change the key art a bunch of times. The world has this impending sense of doom, so they wanted to captivate that. So to do that, they had to keep redoing the cloudy weather and the dark screens. So they embraced the classic Final Fantasy blue tones for the sky, with a darker blue sort of covering it gradually, as young Clive, Joshua, Jill, along with Torgal, sit looking off into the horizons, not knowing about the grim future ahead of all of them. I personally think people are more upset about this than they should be. Some people are making claims that Yoshi P hates older Final Fantasies, to which I don't even know where to begin. But you're absolutely wrong. The creator of Final Fantasy XIV, which is a homage to all the titles in the series, in no way hates or dislikes the older games. If anything, he's a bigger Final Fantasy fan than all of us combined. If you play Final Fantasy XIV, you will see this almost instantly in various ways. He and his team go out of their way to represent all the games. Even the father of Final Fantasy, Hironobu Sakaguchi, who started all of this, is an avid Final Fantasy XIV fan and an addict who is currently working on endgame content for the game. I haven't even gotten to that yet, and I've been playing this game since 2015 on and off. Sakaguchi literally started last year. Fans oftentimes are very attached to their favorite thing, so I get the idea of people wanting to defend their game's honor, but against what Yoshi P said, people are taking that quote way too hard and looking deeper than is needed. Final Fantasy 16 is going to be a great game, probably the game to get the mainline series back on track. Final Fantasy XIV has been carrying the weight for a while, and Final Fantasy VII Remake isn't really a mainline title. It's part of a compilation, but of course is a very revered one. So the future of Final Fantasy to me looks like it'll be back in the top ranks consistently. I'm just looking forward to all the great stuff we have coming our way, and I hope you guys are too. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy 16 videos are on the way, and you won't want to miss them. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.